Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. It is free to follow me. Free to follow me on this channel, Anonymous Tea. Free to follow me on my other channel, Anonymous Tea Podcast. There is new content over there. Follow me on the Tickety Talk at Anonymous Tea Podcast. Free to follow me on the Instagram. On the Instagram is at Anonymous Reality Tea. Free to share everywhere. Free to like the video so it gets out to the algorithm. Free to share with your family, your friends, and your foes, and coming or going, hit the like button. So today we're talking some trending topics for today is Thursday, July 17th, 2025. And a couple of things. So Megan Thee Stallion is dating NBA star Klay Thompson. And it has some people in a tizzy. It has some people feeling some type of way and people making jokes that Megan has a thing for shooters. Like what are we doing? What are we doing? Klay, seems like, he's like a lot more quiet, reserved. I remember one of his exes and things like that. However, I mean, Megan at this point is having fun. And I don't understand why there is this big to-do about it or why there is this big hoopla. I guess there was a picture some time ago of Klay Thompson with Tory Lanez, so I guess they are trying to use that as the dagger, the gut punch, but I don't feel like it is what you think it is. Like I feel like this industry is a lot smaller than what y'all think, and a lot of these people are going to run into each other and see each other. Now, if y'all find tweets online or messages of Klay Thompson being in support of Tory Lanez and the Megan Thee Stallion trial, that's a different conversation. That is a different conversation. There is a lot of drama, you guys, regarding the Jay-Z, Rock Nation, Desiree Perez, Nicki Minaj. It is a whole situation, y'all. To the point that Colin Kaepernick's girlfriend has come out basically and spoken out and said the following. Says, at Nicki Minaj, exposing the smear campaign tactics that Jay-Z, Rock Nation, and Desiree Perez did to her behind the scenes is very similar to what I was told that they did to Colin Kaepernick when Jay-Z purposefully co-opted Colin's protest by siding with the NFL to help their image after they blackballed Colin for his protest. I called them out years ago, and so many people were scared to say it publicly, but would tell me how they agreed with me privately. Shaking my head. Rock Nation apparently took $5 million a year over 5 years to bury the growing protests and specifically help them move beyond the controversy around teams' unwillingness to sign Kaepernick. She said, we love that everybody wants to be on the stage. We've completely changed the conversation to fighting for it versus boycotting. We've come a long way. She got our pardon by Trump. No coincidence. The NFL owners are his buddies and also donated millions to his campaign. I still don't watch that league or whoever is performing at whatever game they have playing. Hashtag still with Cap. Hashtag forever. So nonetheless, I will say this as far as the Jay-Z and Colin Kaepernick thing. I do think that it was a little shady. I think the whole situation is shady because Jermaine Dupri was supposed to have the role, or he was supposed to have a different role, but a similar role to an extent of what Jay-Z's role is as the activities coordinator of the Super Bowl. And Jay-Z told Jermaine Dupri not to take it, allegedly. And, that it wasn't a good look with the, Colin Kaepernick stuff and all of this and all of that. Only for Jay-Z to take it. And basically move the conversation forward against Colin Kaepernick and say that we're doing actionable items and all this other stuff. Just completely left Colin Kaepernick in the dust, all right? But nonetheless, In addition to that, Nicki Minaj is she is tweeting away, and it might need to be a separate video because there's a lot of meat and potatoes in what she is tweeting about different ways that the industry tries to allegedly sabotage people. But for some reason, she decides to get into a back and forth with SZA, and I was a little bit confused by this because SZA then dropped receipts and was like, You're trying to, make it seem like I'm a nobody, like I'm nothing, but you were the one that had your team and your people reach out to me for features. You're the one that reached out to me and my team to, sing some verses for y'all, sing some outros for y'all hooks, for y'all songs. And she's a credited writer on the Beyonce and Nicki Minaj song, Feeling Myself. Now, I don't know whose part she was allegedly responsible for. Some people, the Barbs are going to argue that she was writing for Beyonce because Beyonce doesn't songwrite. The Hive is going to argue that Nicki Minaj has not had a good ghostwriter since Safari, so maybe SZA was helping out there. But ultimately, I don't know. I just know she's a credited writer. The credited writer doesn't say, hey, I wrote this bar for bar, right? But she is credited, and she did post receipts and text messages that all this shade that Nicki is throwing on the internet, behind the scenes, you were acting like you wanted to get in on all these collabs with SZA. And I don't understand the shade and the smear campaign of her being on tour with Kendrick Lamar when SZA had just wrapped up her own tour, her own solo tour. Like she doesn't need Kendrick Lamar for any additional clout or any additional validation. It is, she's a hot artist. She just had a successful solo tour. Her and Kendrick Lamar were at the Super Bowl, so why not go on tour together? It's more exposure, it's more money for them. I don't understand why this is a bad thing. I was a little confused by that. Then we need to talk about, you guys, we need to talk about the Zeus Network. Because the Zeus Network is coming up with their own version of a Love Island show called Love Cabin, and that is coming very soon, y'all. Well, what do y'all think about this? Are y'all going to tune in to Love Cabin? I feel like this is going to go left. I feel like if it's going to be the trajectory of the other Zeus type of shows, it is going to end in violence. It is going to end in a lot of bad things happening, and I don't know if it is worth the tune-in or anything else. But y'all have to let me know in the comments if this is something that y'all will watch. One other thing that I want to get to is apparently what happened is, y'all know we've wrapped up the Diddy case, right? We know that Diddy was found guilty on a couple of the charges, but basically was found not guilty on the RICO charges and a couple other charges. However, the lead prosecutor apparently allegedly is fired after the mixed trial outcome. So Maureen Comey, daughter of former FBI Director James Comey, remember him, has reportedly been fired from her role as a federal prosecutor following the verdict in Diddy's high-profile case. According to Politico, 2 anonymous sources revealed, that's not me, I'm not in politics, that Comey was dismissed from Manhattan U.S. Attorney's Office. The U.S. Attorney's Office has not yet commented on the report. Comey did, who led the prosecution in the Diddy case, previously worked on major cases involving Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, securing a guilty verdict against Maxwell. James Comey, her father, has clashed publicly with Trump, even drawing criticism for a political post on Instagram earlier this year. Some of the outlets have speculated that the Justice Department could investigate him, though there is no evidence tying that to Maureen's dismissal. Diddy was recently convicted on 2 Mann Act violations, but acquitted of SEX trafficking and racketeering charges. He is awaiting sentencing on October. October will be when they officially sentence him on how long his, how long or how much longer he will have to be in jail for. It remains held at MDC Brooklyn. So, again, I'm not surprised. I feel like they were probably hoping for a home run and hoping that they got those RICO charges to stick, but apparently the jury saw something different. or felt something different, that it wasn't enough to convict Diddy based off of the testimony and the evidence that they reviewed. So it's a bad look, because if the prosecution has what is it, a 93%, or they have like a really high conviction rate, and if your main thing was about RICO charges and Diddy allegedly having a criminal enterprise, and you can't get that conviction, and you get the two least smaller charges, like somebody has to be held accountable here. Somebody has to be held accountable. Like people are like, oh, Trump fired her, or it's a conspiracy to get Diddy out. No. I think this is coming from inside the office. If you had a big time case against a mogul, against a billionaire, and your biggest charge was the RICO charge, and you wanted to make it seem as though you had enough to stick the RICO charge, and it doesn't go, and the jury doesn't believe that there's enough to, convict for a RICO charge, somebody has to be the fall guy for that. Because this is not a win for the prosecution if your main thing was about these alleged RICO charges. So I'm not surprised that they were like, listen, look at here, like somebody's got to go. Somebody's got to go, because y'all did not get these RICO charges, which would have held the longest sentence in jail. Could potentially have been a situation where Diddy would be in jail for the rest of his life. And you couldn't get that to happen. So somebody's got, like I'm leaving here with something. Somebody's got to be the fall guy. Somebody's got to be the scapegoat for this. So there is that. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post some content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.